Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. I am Brian, and today we are going to be going over what they call the ActiveStart. All right folks, so what are these things? Well, if you've ever heard of a soft start system, it's essentially a piece of equipment that you literally have to go up on top of your RV, open up your RV box, hardwire a mechanical component inside of your air conditioning unit, and it essentially limits the surge current when you turn that AC on to help your generator actually start that AC unit. So AC units use a whole lot of power when you first turn them on, and then that power gradually decreases and a generator can keep up. The problem is that some generators cannot handle that first initial surge of current that air conditioning units typically take. So a lot of people have started using these soft start systems, but there is a plethora of us that don't want to get up on top of an RV or wherever it is and actually hardwire and try to install some of these permanent soft start systems in our AC unit. This thing is completely plug and play. So you literally can use these things and plug in your extension cord, plug this into your generator, and it does the exact same thing that a hardwired soft start system will do. Now this is the ActiveStart brand, and Thomas Victorin contacted me and wanted me to test this. And if you've never heard of Thomas Victorin, he is the actual inventor and designer of the original soft start system, and he is starting up this company, ActiveStart. So this particular unit is a 20 amp version, and this particular unit is the 30 amp version with the 30 amp RV plug. So you can hook this unit directly up to a power pedestal at a campground, or if you have a 30 amp receptacle on your generator, you can use this 30 amp version. But they've got several different models. So they got the 20 amp, the 30 amp, he's coming out with the 50 amp, and he's also coming out with actual hardwired ActiveStart controls that you can actually install on your outdoor air conditioning unit at home. And you can essentially make that air conditioning unit run on a much smaller generator in the event of an emergency. So again, our home AC units take a ton of power to start up, and most standard generators can't even touch getting one of those things started. With a 50 amp hardwired ActiveStart system installed on it, you can potentially run your home air conditioning unit off of a mid to large size standard gas generator. That's coming out later, and I will actually post a link down below of a video that he sent me that he posted to YouTube of him testing it out at his own home, and it's amazing what it does. The initial startup amps is around 80, and I think it goes down to 10 or so. I'm just kind of guessing at that, but that link to that video is going to be down in the description. It's a really interesting video. For this test, guys, I just want to show you what this thing does. So I've got a 5,000 BTU window air conditioning unit, and I'm going to start it up, and I'm going to plug in a watt meter, and I'm going to show you what that air conditioning unit uses in terms of startup power without this installed. Now, I'm going to be trying it on an 800 watt Sportsman generator. I've done a couple of videos way back in the past where that generator will actually start and keep my air conditioning unit running, but it's difficult for it to keep up with that initial surge. That'll give us a baseline. Then I'm going to plug in this to the generator, and I'm going to hook up the AC unit to the watt meter, and hopefully you'll be able to see the huge difference that this little box does in terms of limiting the amount of surge rush or surge current on startup on that air conditioning unit. So with that, let's go straight into the test number one of just trying to get a 5,000 BTU air conditioning unit started off of my tiny little Sportsman's generator. So let's head outside. So for the baseline, you can see I've got my 1,000 watt max Sportsman gas generator. I've just got a 14 gauge extension cord going into my shop, and we're gonna do a baseline test to see how many amps air conditioning unit actually takes without the use of this ActiveStart. So we're gonna start this thing on the max settings on both. So try to keep an eye on these amps, and I'm gonna just crank this thing up to the lowest settings that I can and see if it'll start it. No. It won't even start it. So typically I can get that generator to work if I slowly start on low fan, then high fan, then low cool, then high cool. But that generator would not start it when I just went directly to high cool. So let's see if it'll work with the ActiveStart. Okay. So to get this thing turned on, you have to go into the ActiveStart app, and we're going to go into connection. We're going to connect, And we are done. So you can tell here it's going to give you your current voltage, your frequency, 0 watts, total energy, ambient temp. So this is again a good way to monitor your actual RV usage as well. But now that ActiveStart unit is turned on, let's give this a go. Okay, hopefully you can make out the amps, and we're going to go direct to max everything. 3, 2, 1. And it started it. So the high on startup was 1,270 watts. And this is a 1,000 watt surge generator. And we are currently pulling 345 watts at max setting. Well, gang, so this generator would not start this 5,000 BTU window AC at max settings on initial startup. The generator just choked out. And so when I plugged in the ActiveStart to this generator, it was able to manage the initial surge of current that this compressor used at initial startup, and it started it. It kept it running. This is a very small scale test. Again, just a 5,000 BTU AC unit and a little 800 watt gas inverter. Typically in RV units, I see a lot of videos running a Honda EU 2200 trying to run a 13 or 14 BTU air conditioning unit. And that's where this would come in, or the 30 amp version would come in very beneficial, because that's a pretty standard setup for a lot of RVers, is between 10 to 15 BTU roof-mounted AC units and a little Honda EU 2200 or 2200i. That's a pretty popular little generator. It'll definitely run the AC unit once it gets up to speed, but it's that initial first surge of current that sometimes that generator has a hard time keeping up with. And with these units, that generator would easily keep up, because this just slowly ramps up all the way to max power. You don't have that initial huge surge that gets above and beyond what the generator's capable of. And that's where these things come in handy. And not only is this a soft starter, but it's also used as a surge protector as well, up to 2100 joules. So you've got Bluetooth built in, you can monitor your energy usage at camp, built-in 2100 joule surge protector, and you can now run your AC units off of a smaller generator. So I think these things are just great. They're not new to the market. However, this is literally plug and play. You do not have to hardwire any type of soft start mechanism into your actual AC unit. You literally just plug this into the pedestal at camp or at home if you're trying to run something in, in an emergency at home. This just plugs in directly to your generator. No need to know about any kind of electrical wiring and soldering joints and all that stuff. You literally just plug it in and you can get an AC unit running. So I think it's just a really cool little gadget, and this claims it reduces startup amps by 50%. Again, I'll post all the links to this guy's website down below, and you can check it out. The pricing, I believe, is around $220 for the 20 amp. And it jumps up quite a bit to around 400, I believe. Don't quote me on that until you check the website, but I believe it's around 400 on the 30 amp. And he does not have pricing yet on the 50 amp on the website. But again, he's got multiple different models of this. He's got a marine version for use in boats and marine type settings. So he's got quite a few of these little plug and play systems on the website that you can take a look at. I wanted to test it out to make sure it worked before I even told you folks about this, and according to what I just saw with my own eyes, it does work. Overall, that's it, guys. Here is the ActiveStart plug and play soft start system for an AC unit or any type of equipment that uses a huge startup load. This isn't just for AC units, but it's the most common use for these things. But any type of piece of equipment that takes an initial big surge of power but then slowly ramps down after that compressor starts running or whatever it is, this can be used for that. Not just an AC unit, but this is what I had to test it on, so that's what I'm using. Anyway, folks, that's it for the ActiveStart. So again, check out the links below if you're interested. And if you do get one, I hope it works for you. But I think these are pretty cool. So until next time, folks, we will see you soon. Take care.